Hey, Kiwan, it's awesome to meet you. As I mentioned, you fit in so well with the theme of this podcast here, and I'm excited to chat with you because your story is absolutely amazing. So, thanks for joining us here. You're in Durham, North Carolina, right?
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm from, born and raised, and I just wanted to go back so because it really does have some great roots here, not just for me and my family, but I mean a lot of roots, like Black Wall Street type of roots. It's an amazing area, if you talk about history. So it's definitely one of those places. A lot of people don't know this. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X used to meet in Durham, North Carolina.
Oh, really?
And yeah, a lot of people thought they were always at odds, bumping heads, but they actually used to meet here. So it's some great history here, man. It's a lot of it.
Yeah. Well, I'm familiar with the Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but I'd never heard of the
hmm
Black Wall Street in Durham. What's the history on that?
Yeah, so you had the Black Wall Street. I can't remember. I think it's like 1850s, somewhere around there. But anywho, you had that going, and Mr. C.C. Spalding. You had James E. Shepherd. He did like a lot of the college related stuff. He started what is now called North Carolina Central University. It used
Yeah.
to be something else, but that's what it's named now. And that area, you had its own hospital. It had, like I said, the college, the schools, the high schools, elementary, all of it, middle schools. It was the start of the first black-owned um, life insurance company.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, North Carolina. I think it's called North Carolina Mutual. It's a life insurance company.
All right.
To all the tobacco road, all that stuff started in that area. So you talking about tobacco, that's where you went was Durham,
Yeah. Yeah.
for that stuff. And it's so much there, man. It's so much. I'm you had Hayti Heritage, you have what's the other? Phoenix Square, I believe it is. All of that stuff was just ours. We went to Hayti Heritage to get your entertainment, you
Uh-huh.
know, your different shows, which are live shows, things of that nature. I've actually performed there, by the way.
Nice.
And that was back before I joined the military. I used to do on stage plays because I used to be an actor.
Yeah.
Personally, I still am.
Right. Right.
Trust me, it doesn't go away just because you haven't stepped on the stage. And I used to do plays there. And that was to me an honor, because I know who, if I were to look at all the people who came through there, I would probably be like, what? There's no way. I'm,
Right.
I'm not supposed to be on this stage. You know what I mean? And so I try not to do that because I don't want to give myself stage fright.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, there are so many people that have come through there, and just so much that has happened. It's a beautiful place.
Yeah. Oh, that's super cool. But have an important question for you here,
Yeah,
though.
go ahead.
All right. I am a, Tar Heels fan, and I'm trying to figure out how on earth you became a Tar Heels fan too, living in Durham. I mean, I applaud you for that, of course, but how did that happen?
The household.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
grew up in a Tar Heel household. My grandmother, my mother, my dad. We're all Tar Heel fans. Of course, my sibling. Well, my oldest one for sure. I don't know. Oh, my youngest brother. He's a Tar Heel fan too. He had a basketball player, UNC basketball pen pal when he was in, I think, elementary school.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he had a pen pal that was on it. I can't remember his name, but I can see his face, in my mind.
Yeah.
But I can't remember his name right now off the top of my head. I think he played like small forward or something at the time. And so, anywho, yeah, we grew up in a Tar Heel household, so it's kind of like, hey, this is what we watch.
There you
And
go.
then uh now that's the funny part is all these people I was the only one who didn't, but everybody else has worked for Duke.
Really.
They're not Duke fans, but they worked for Duke.
They're the wolf in sheep's clothing in there, huh?
Right, right. We're infiltrating their
Yeah.
their territories.
Yeah, maybe
But
well,
yeah.
bring those suckers down. I mean, yeah, I'll
Yep.
admit my fandom, if you would, for Carolina started because of hatred for Duke.
Mm.
I went to a school that we should have gone to the Final Four, and we got knocked out by Duke.
Ah,
In,
yeah.
in a game we should have won. I went to Penn, and we did go to the
Okay.
Final Four the next year. And we ended up playing Magic Johnson in the semifinals, which didn't go well
Ooh,
for us. But
yeah.
yeah, but yeah,
Yes,
I
sir.
started hating Duke back then, and then I coached high school basketball for 25 years, and
Oh,
for a few
wow.
of those years, I coached with a guy, school very close to my house here, that he was a huge Carolina fan. In fact, he
Mm.
named his first daughter Carolina. And
Hey,
yes,
can I stop you right there?
yeah, go ahead.
M- My one of my reserve commanders, his deputy commander, he's not a deputy commander at the same base now. He's somewhere else now, but his daughter's first name is Carolina.
Really nice.
He named because that's where him and his wife met. They met at UNC, so they graduated from UNC. And there's diehard Tar Heel fans, and they named their daughter Carolina. But she got a full ride scholarship to go to NC State. I said, well, at least it still has North Carolina or Carolina in the name.
Yeah, that's true. That works. I
Yeah,
wonder how many douchey kids though were named Duke out there because of that, you know?
I have no clue, but I don't want to know
No, no.
them.
But yeah, anybody who goes to NC State, I mean, I hate to see a kid named Wolfpack. That would be a
Oh
bad name.
God, Jesus. Yeah, it's just okay. Since we're on the same team here, I got to tell this story. I don't know if you've ever seen this meme, but it says you got the Tar Heel, the Blue Devil, and the wolf on top of a mountain, and they're all trying to do something to show their school pride. Well, the wolf says, "I'm going to do this for the pack," and he jumps off the mountain.
All right.
And then the Tar Heel says, "I'm going to do this for my school," and he kicks the Blue Devil off. He kicks the Blue Devil off the mountain. I said, yes, kick
Oh
him
yeah.
off.
That,
So yeah,
yeah,
man.
that ugly mascot needs to go off the cliff. Oh yeah.
Get him out of here. Hey, all I gotta say is we have the best historic moment in Tar Heel history, and that was when all those people came to Durham, North Carolina to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to see us beat the brakes off of Coach K.
Yeah, right.
That was the best homegoing you present you could have gave Duke that day. I tell you what.
Always.
Yeah,
Always, man.
I'll never forget it. I will
Yeah.
never forget that moment. His
Yeah.
last hoorah.
Yep. But now you got to put up with Coach Belichick over there. So
You know,
that's going to be
I'm
interesting.
actually curious to see how that's going to work because that's been our weak point is
Oh yeah.
defense.
Yep.
And he's a defensive minded coach. So
Yep.
I'm actually curious about it. I go to games every year, by the way, basketball and football.
Good.
So I bring my friend who's a diehard Tar Heel fan, and he tells me he knows basketball and football very well. So he tells me the plays and stuff.
Right.
And me and him play football together. And so, man, w- I'm actually looking forward to this season. I'm hoping he's going to do what I think, and that's make us better on defense
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's
because
why he
that's
was
what we
hired.
need.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. One thing I do know is he's not playing any games. And I'm gonna
Right.
tell you why. So spring ball, that every school has that spring ball. Well, they're out there doing spring ball and these kids are falling left and right. I mean, just falling all over the field.
Yeah.
Well, UNC has turf. Well,
Oh yeah, it's hot.
used to anyway.
Yeah.
UNC has turf until he stopped the practice 15 minutes in. Just 15 minutes into the practice because he got tired of seeing it.
Mm.
Told everybody to go home. And he went straight to the athletic director and said, I don't want turf anymore. Get me regular field. I want regular grass.
Right.
And they did
They did it. Wow.
it. Cause he's like, what's productive about this? You know what I mean? Like
No
if
kidding.
you're losing your footing all day long, there's no productivity going on here.
Nope, not
So
at
yeah,
all.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say you're already paying him that many millions. How much does it cost to put in sod, you know?
Right, right.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see what's going on there. So Very cool. Well, hey, let's launch into this
Let's do it.
story here. I mean, we're probably boring people here, outside of Carolina here right now. So, but like I say, I love your story here. You were riding high in life there. You were a young
Yeah.
man who had a lot of stuff going on, good stuff going on, Air Force guy and refueling planes. Tell a little folks about all the things you had going on in your life at the time.
Oh man. So I was 25 at the time of what you're referring to. And like you said, I was in the United States Air Force. I had already did 4 years of active duty commitment, and then I got off active duty in 2015 and decided to continue my journey of military. I love the job. The job that I was doing, which was in-flight refueling, was amazing. There's nothing like it
Yeah.
because you, first off, you can only do it in the military. Secondly, you can only do it in the Air Force. And lastly, there are not many countries that do it. And
Mm,
if they're doing it, we taught them.
right.
So that's how serious the the whole thing is. If a country is able to do refueling, it's because we taught them how to do it.
Yeah, and you think about it, you make a really good point. If you are um, France, let's
Mhm.
just say, how far are they going on military missions? Whereas our Air Force, as we just saw here in a recent raid on
Yep.
Iran, these guys were flying all the way from Missouri, going all the way over there. They needed to be refueled, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure we tapped them on the way across the ocean,
oh, totally. Yeah,
and sure enough, see you later, guys.
yep,
And go ahead, rock the mish, as they say.
yeah,
And so, that job in itself, of course, I did it at a high level because there's no other way around it. This is a very, very dangerous job, by the way, to say the least.
yeah,
When the first warning in the book says, and I quote, flying two planes in close proximity is inherently dangerous. You think?
yeah, right.
What the heck did you have to tell me that? Now I'm nervous, huh? And so, anywho, um, going from that to becoming an instructor, I actually taught it as well. So I wasn't just somebody who did it, I taught it. Whether you were brand new or whether you were coming back from like a one-off type of job where whether you were doing like headquarters type stuff for Air Mobility Command, you could have been doing that, or you could have been doing cargo type stuff
Yeah,
where you're strictly focused on cargo. And in my job, which is a in-flight refueling specialist and a boom operator is also what we call ourselves. If you did something, or you could have been became a military training instructor, down at the basic training. If you go do these specialty jobs or military training leader, anything like that, if you're doing that stuff and then you come back to the jet because you haven't been in the jet, we can spin you back up, get you back ready to go. And that was my job as an instructor, get you ready to go, get out the door,
yeah.
you know. And so I loved it, man. It was just so amazing. And what an amazing view to be
Oh, I
looking at
bet.
another plane that close.
Yeah. Hey, I just
Some
wanted to ask you a
Go ahead.
logistical question here. I mean, I understand the concept. I
Hmm.
mean, it's nothing new there. But how do you actually, it's not like you take the nozzle off the gas pump like you do when you fill in your car and you just go ahead and reach over and stick it in the gas tank. Like, how does it get from the refueling plane over to the jet in midair? I mean, I'm picturing like, Batman with his, throwing his bat, whatever thing over there. It's like, all right, boom, we
His
got it in
grappling
there.
hook.
Grappling hook. Yeah, exactly. Like, how does it actually connect?
Now that used to be the way they did it.
Really?
And I do not lie. This is when there was slow, slow, slow airplanes way back in the day when they were very slow and it was all props.
Yeah.
They would pass a hose back and let it go into the air, what we call the slipstream, which is
Right.
where it goes into the air,
Hmm.
and it goes straight back. The either the pilot or somebody sitting right behind him would try to grab it.
Wow.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
they're trying to grab at this thing and put it right into to the engine.
Yeah.
Man, are you crazy? That kind of thing. But now we have it where I'm sitting in the back of the plane. I am laying, and I start laughing because of what I'm about to say here clearly. I'm laying on my stomach passing gas. And so that's literally what I'm doing. I'm laying on my stomach, looking out of a window, and what we call our boom sighting window. I have my right hand down below me, and it is controlling what we call a ruddervator control stick. All that means is the pole
Yeah.
that's out there, or the boom is what we call it.
Yeah.
So it's flying. I can fly that around with my right hand in all directions.
All
Now
right.
my left hand, which is sitting up on a panel, I use to extend, so make it go further out, or pull it back to retract it back in. Because it's a big
All right.
tube, and then there's a smaller tube where the gas actually flows out of.
Gotcha.
And so I use that. And there's a lot of controls in that plane, by the way. And so um, that's the main way of flying it around, the regular way of doing it. Now there's two other ways which are used for like maybe like the more so like the Navy and the Marines, which is probe and drogue, and that's where it's a big old basket that they have to poke their probe into to
Okay.
actually open up the hole so it'll actually allow the fuel to come out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the reason I say there's two because you have the probe and drogue, which is connected by an adapter piece to that same pole I was just telling you about, or you have what the French created, which is a what we call MIPRS, multi-point refueling system.
All right.
So why is it called multi-point? Because it's on both wings.
Mm.
So this is not directly behind us now, like where I lay down. This is now off both wings in the middle of two engines because
Yeah.
we have four engines on total,
Yeah.
and in the middle of both of them are two multi-point refueling systems. And what that I think that daggone hose is about 40 feet long or so. I think the hose is about 40 feet long with that MIPR system.
All right.
You got to be careful though.
Yeah.
Because the system that you're using is like right, below your with that. You remember how I told you where my left hand is to retract it, and
Yeah.
if something gets hooked on that thing, it could release the hose,
Yeah.
and now it's gone.
Right. Right.
You just lost your equipment. You can't get it back. It's
Yeah.
gone. Okay.
Right.
Because you're up at like 20,000 feet, 22,000 feet, you're refueling, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're not getting that back.
Mm-mm.
And so, anywho, you have to be very careful because that is also a method of, uh, say, for example, something is going wrong and you do need to actually release it. That is a reason. Like you can hit it purposefully,
Yeah.
but there are accidents that you need to make sure you don't do.
Yeah.
But anywho, that is how they refuel. I actually almost had an incident where I thought I was gonna die because not because of the MIPers, because of the probe and drogue
Yeah.
Navy guy, man. F-18, F-18, man.
Right.
He was having a hard time. I don't know if this was like if I don't know if it's because he was new or because he was tired. Because when you're in those fighters, man, you can't get up and like stretch your legs.
Yeah.
You got to be wired. Some way, somehow, you have to be wired. You know what I mean? And so he was missing. He kept missing the basket. And I don't know what it is about Navy guys, but they're always like, is the basket locked? I'm like, locked where?
Right.
I can't lock anything.
Yeah.
You know, but anyway, and so he's like hitting it, but making it, flip down. And that means you're not going straight into it.
Yeah.
You're trying to catch it. Don't do that, buddy. So he kept doing it. And
Right.
I'm like, in my jet, I'm like swinging a miss.
Yeah. Right.
And they're laughing at me. And I'm like, yeah, guys, it's going. As soon as I said, I knew I shouldn't have said it. I said, yeah, guys, it's gonna be a long day. As soon as I said that,
Yeah.
he got it. I was like, oh, he got it. And then he went too far forward. So with the basket, it's attached to a hose. That hose bends. Well, it's not supposed to get too far in
Mm.
because it can create a whipping action
Yeah. Yeah.
in the wind. And they don't want that because if it whips into their nose, it can damage stuff.
Makes
because they
sense.
do have equipment inside their nose,
Yeah.
so and it'll also, make them have to go to sheet metal because they
Yeah.
got to fix that now.
Right.
Anywho, he got too far in, and so now he's trying to back out, like so that it doesn't happen. But he got too far back
Mm.
because he went too far back quickly.
Yeah.
It the connection with the adapter piece that I told you about, it looks like a slinky. So you know how you stretch a slinky
Yeah.
and then it comes back? That's what it looks like. Well, he stretched it. And this is not easy to do, by the way. It's not easy to stretch those coils. But he did. Okay. And so it's now stretched, allowing fuel to spew out over top of him, which goes over top of his engines
Oh boy.
that are hot.
Yeah.
And then he's trying to keep connection. He doesn't see that the fuel is spewing out. He's trying to keep the connection. So he throws his power back in. Fireball. You ever heard that song? Fireball.
Right.
Yeah, and I wasn't
Ooh.
singing at that time. I was saying a lot of other words, but
Yeah.
but I won't say them on here.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
wow.
it was bad. We had to land and literally, I was in the desert, by the way. So I was deployed at this time. This wasn't just like a training mission. This was real world
Yeah.
where they were out there doing actual missions. And so we had to go back to where we were, um, which is actually the base that, the Iranians tried to attack in
Oh
Qatar.
yeah. Oh, yep.
That was that base.
Gotcha.
That's why I used to go to be deployed at, and that's why I was kind of pissed off when that happened. But anyway, we had to go back and land and file an incident report, man.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. Wow. That's quite the operation. It kind of reminds me, I'm a high school track coach, and you tell kids in a relay that you got to keep
Hmm.
your hands steady, because if you somebody's sitting there trying to move around to try to put the baton in the other person's hand, and that person's
Hmm.
moving their hand around, guess what? You're going to have failure there. And
Oh
you
yeah.
guys are kind of in the same. I mean, it's a very simplified example of what you guys were doing there, but
Yeah.
yeah, but same
Ah man,
concept. Yeah, you got to
my
stay
track
steady.
days.
Yeah,
You taking me back to my track days. I used to run the 4x1. So
nice.
yeah, I used to reach that hand back. Yeah, you gotta wait till that sucker smack, man.
Yep.
And then you yank.
Yeah.
And you switch it after you yank it, not while you yank it.
Oh, of
Oh
course.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
technique to it, baby.
Oh yeah, that's what makes it a 4x1. People think it's
Uh,
all about speed, but that one event has more to do with the technique of your handoffs
yeah.
than just about anything else. But we don't have to go down that rabbit hole. I can talk
Nah, nah.
track for the next half hour with you, but let's go back. You got your Air Force career going on, and you're out there doing a lot of good things at that point in your life there when you're 25. I mean, you have the
Yeah,
world
so
world by its you know what's.
yeah, man. Listen, I tell you, I was on a high speed chase for life, okay?
Yeah,
And I was definitely trying to get to it. So the military is in the reserves now, so I was able to go to school full time because that was my ultimate goal when I first joined, even on active duty. That was my ultimate goal was getting schooling paid for.
yeah,
So I was always in pursuit of higher education, always.
right,
So now that's what I'm doing full time though, because I was doing it part time on active duty, and that was just so hard. It was stressful.
sure.
And so anyway, now I'm doing school full time, a computer information systems degree, um, where I learned about website design and management. And that's what brought me to my business at the time, which was Kiwi Enterprise, where I did website design and management, social media marketing, and photography because I was servicing small businesses that needed those types of things. Like they didn't know they needed it, so I would pitch it to them.
Yeah,
And I did that a couple times, and they were like, "Oh wow, I never thought of it that way." I'm like, "And I'm gonna bring you more money."
right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And so, I I did that, and when I tell you I enjoyed it, like I didn't realize I would enjoy it so much. I know I'm creative, and I know I like to think and play with stuff on computers because I'm a nerd, but I did not think I would enjoy it as much as I did. I would be up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, wide open. And I don't mean because I've had, Mountain Dew or some energy drink like Red Bull or Monster. No, this is all off of my energy.
Yeah.
I didn't take any supplement. And I'm just wide open doing this stuff because I was vested in it. And so I was doing that, and then I, had my life, which was pretty much the way I wanted it, because I was also getting my degree to be able to commission and become a pilot and fly
Right.
the plane that I was on. Because they were giving us a new plane and I didn't really like it for the air refueling side of it. So I was like, well, how about this? I'll make more money flying it.
Yeah.
And that was what I was doing, pursuing. I had 1 year left on my degree before that uh, nearly fatal day of May 5th, 2017,
Yeah.
where I was involved in a motorcycle accident
Right.
that basically took my eyesight, you
Yeah.
know.
Well, did a whole lot of other damage to you there. I mean, I saw that you broke both bones in one lower leg, broke a femur. I mean, you had skull fractures. I mean,
Yeah.
all vertebrae broken. I mean, you were a mess. You know.
Call me Mr. Potato
Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, they
Head.
sat there and patched you back together again, and you were in a coma for more than a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was listening to you on another podcast talking about, what after the accident, you wake up and it's like you're thinking, hey, I've been in the hospital for a day, or you woke up and it's like you had no idea that all this it's been a month since what had happened, and
No clue.
and you wake up and your jaw's wired shut, so you can't talk, your vision is gone. I mean, it's like a bad, bad, bad dream.
Yeah. That's a nightmare. Complete
Yeah.
nightmare. You know, you ever heard of I think it's what, a movie called $6 Million Man?
Oh yeah. Whoa, TV show. Yeah.
TV show. Oh,
Yeah. Lee Majors. Yeah.
I'm the $1 million man because
Yeah.
that's how
Right.
much it took to put me back together. And so, gosh, uh, I wish I was walking around with that money in my account, forget it in my body.
Yeah. Right.
You know? But yeah, no, that day of waking up, which was June the 6th, by the way, because the accident was May 5th. June the 6th, 2017, I'm waking up. I have no clue what happened to me. Not even a little bit.
Yeah.
And when I wake up, I felt so peaceful. It was like it was like I woke up from the best nap ever, or best sleep ever. Like that's how I felt.
Well, Rip Van Winkle, you were asleep for a month. Yeah.
I know, right? Like no joke though. I'm like waking up, I'm like, oh man, I slept good last night. What did I do? And the next thing I know, I'm hearing people talk. I'm like, wait a minute, time out. Somebody's in my house. Like, like,
Yeah.
oh, do I need to reach for I was finna go into military mode, which is protection.
Yeah.
And I always kept my pistol beside my bed. So why beside my bed? Because I wanted to drop and take cover if I needed to.
Yeah.
And so that was what I was thinking to do. Do I need to drop and take cover, grab my pistol, load up a clip? Oh yeah, no, I'm ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I'm ready. So I never kept it loaded because of, safety reasons. But
Yeah.
anywho, yeah, I'm thinking that right now. And then I was like, wait, no, I actually recognize these voices. And these voices would be my mom and my ex-girlfriend.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, I know them. I ain't gotta shoot nobody. Uh,
Right.
and so and so I'm listening to what they're talking about, and they were talking about a motorcycle accident. But these are like I've never known for people to talk about something that's so serious and not give you any clues whatsoever. They were the worst storytellers that I've ever heard. I was like, this is horrible.
Yeah.
So after listening and what I call eavesdropping for a while, I decided to open my eyes so that I can, talk to them, communicate, figure out who are y'all talking about? Because that's not a good story to be telling. I hope this is some TV show y'all
Yeah.
watch,
Right.
you know. And when I go to open my eyes, I see nothing. I see the exact same thing I see now that I saw then, which is like It's like black on the left side, left eye, because I have damaged blood vessels over there, so I can see nothing on that side. And on my right side, it's like if you were getting a fight and you know that purplish blue look,
Yeah.
that's what I see. So it's like a purplish blue look that I see out of my right eye. But I can also see sunlight. It's gotta be like light. But it has to be very, very bright.
Yeah.
So sunlight or what do you call it? Sunlight or like that really bright light from the eye doctor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, lights like that. They have to be super bright, basically,
Yeah.
and shined at us like right in. This I wear glasses because my eyes are light sensitive,
Mm.
and it'll make them run, like make them irritated, like they
Yeah.
feel very, very dry.
Yeah.
Whenever bright light stuff like that is shining in. But anywho,
But yeah,
um,
but what actually happened? I mean, it was I was trying to. You didn't
oh,
mention that
to
in your
my
book.
eyes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, was
Yeah,
it an
that's the
optic
thing.
nerve or
It's
blood vessel?
nope. There's
Yeah.
still that the optic nerve is still intact. Retinas are good. I just have a lot of scarring. A lot of like I told you about the left eye, blood vessels
Yeah.
damaged. This I guess it really scratched like the face shield from my helmet scratched up my eyes really bad.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they was like plucking, plexiglass or whatever out of it, but all I know is it's damaged beyond repair type stuff. Like, so unless I would have, I don't know what if they do donor eyes or what, but unless I had that, these aren't doing anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know
You know
they
what I'm
do
saying?
donor corneas.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, unless you can do the whole eye, these
Yeah.
aren't going anywhere.
Right.
You
Wow,
know?
that's something. I mean, yeah, that's the one part, I understood, when you talked about all the other injuries you had, but
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
okay, but why the eyesight there? I mean, sure, you had a skull fracture or whatever, but yeah, that's pretty wild.
You know what's crazy? The left eye, I can't see anything, like no light or anything. And it's
Yeah.
completely dark, right? The right eye, I see the light and colors. Well, that was the one that was popped out.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Like that, that
You're
was the
right.
one that was actually popped out, but I could see the most out of it.
Wow.
It's life.
Yeah, right.
So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so you wake up here and people
Oh
are
yeah.
telling you this bad story and
Yeah. Well,
um
they're not telling it to me yet. They were
right.
talking to each other. And so I open my eyes, can't see, and I'm like, oh, time out, time out. I don't know what game you guys are playing here, but something's on my eyes and I can't see anything. Like I'm just looking around the room. Like I know I got my eyes open, so why can't I see anything?
Yeah.
But
Did they know that at the time that you had lost your vision?
yeah, yeah, the
Okay.
doctors had told him that there
Okay.
there would probably be some problems with my vision and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
because like I said, it was noticeable to them. I mean, of course, I couldn't see myself, but I'm sure you could be able to tell because one of my eyes is what do they call it? The nucleate? What where is white?
Yeah, don't
It's
know.
completely white. I mean, I can show you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I
Huh.
forget the proper terminology
Yeah, I
for
don't know
it,
what that is. Yeah.
but yeah, so you can see it for sure.
Yeah.
And it has been that way. So um you could tell something was wrong.
Mm.
It was just like, well, is this gonna be this way? Like
Yeah.
forever? And so anywho, the panic started to set in. And that's when I'm like, okay, I can't see. What the heck? Somebody tell me something. And so I go to speak now because they can't, if I can't see them now, they're not paying attention to me. I'm not moving.
Yeah.
I haven't even moved yet. I was just like opening my eyes. And so then I go to speak. But as you said, my mouth was wired shut. It was. And so all you heard was, hmm, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, and that's all I could think was, what? Oh my God, what is going on here? This nightmare. I'm starting to put the pieces together. I think that motorcycle accident is about me.
Yeah. Right, right.
And so then they come to my bedside. The ex-girlfriend was on the right and my mom was on the left. And I start to ask the question, or try to get some kind of information, but they're not able to understand me because
Right.
again, mouth wired shut. So my mom's like, "Hold on," and I'm like, what's going on?" And she comes back with a notepad and a pencil and hands it to me, and I'm like, "What am I supposed to do with this?
Right.
I can't see." Like, you know how you get really, I can't see. And she's like, just try to write. And I was like, whatever. So I tried to write it down. And what I wrote, if I can remember correctly, was what is this motorcycle accident dream y'all are talking about? I do remember saying dream. I do remember that.
Mm.
Why
Yeah.
do I remember that? Because she responding saying, that wasn't a dream. That's what happened to you. I do know I said dream.
Yeah.
And so after she said that, man, whew, you're talking about getting hit with a ton of bricks. Like
Yeah.
the weight of the world being placed on not my shoulders, but my chest because I'm laying in the bed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what is going on? That's no, 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 no. And here comes the denial. You know what I mean? No, no, This couldn't happen to me. I'm a safe rider. I don't know why you say I got no motorcycle. Did somebody do this to me? Somebody had to do this to me. I don't
Right.
believe, nope, I don't believe it. And I mean, when I tell you the questions were flooding my mind because I wasn't asking anybody. I'm now
Right.
talking to me
Yeah.
internally. And so, whew, that was a long day, because I didn't talk to anybody but myself. I don't know if you've ever talked to yourself for a day, but dude, it's a long day.
Yeah.
That's a long day because that internal dialogue is crazy, or monologue, shall I say. Well, I guess you could call it a dialogue because I was definitely answering myself.
Yeah. Yeah. But not getting any answers there. That kind of
No.
reminds me of like when Aaron Rodgers went to that darkness retreat thing,
Retreat, yeah.
yeah, where it's like, yeah, well, you're just in your own head the whole time
Hmm.
there. And, um, it's one thing if you're just sitting there having this transcendent moment here, but if you're in the situation of like, man, there's a lot of questions here and there's no answers.
No.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, whew. But I mean, eventually I started back communicating. Because I'm also spiritual, so I did, I questioned God, of course, because that's where my faith lies, and I
Right.
want to know why the heck He will allow this to happen to me.
Right.
And hear me clearly, I said allow because I believe that, that's the only way this could have happened is if He allowed it.
Right.
And surely daily I am learning why. It's been 8 years now, but I am learning why daily.
Mm.
He allowed this to happen to me, and bit by bit, but I am learning because the story that I am living is helping other people who are either just having something happen to them or who have been dealing with stuff.
And never coped with it well. Yeah.
Either that or they just like, man, how is it he can continue doing things and then I'm over here acting like the world has ended, you
Right.
know? And the one thing I tell people is like, yeah, or I'll tell them all the things I've been doing since my accident. And they're like, wait, this is without sight? I'm like, yeah. And when I just told this lady last time, I said I went skiing, downhill skiing. And she was like, wait, you did what? I was like, yeah, no, no, last year, January, I went to Stowe, Vermont.
Oh yeah, been there.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, they have a nice ski resort up there. And went skiing with the Wounded Warriors Project. And
Nice.
she was so like stuck on the fact that I, with no sight, was skiing.
Right.
She really wasn't catching on to anything else. And
Well,
so,
see, out here in Colorado, obviously we're all skiers out. Well, not all, but but we have a very prominent center for the disabled at Winter Park
mm,
ski area here, where
yeah, I've heard of them.
yeah, and they do amazing work with people who have disabilities of whatever sort. And you see
Hmm.
the blind skiers on the slopes there all the time. So we're kind of used to it here. It still absolutely blows me away because, I mean, I've been skiing for, I don't know, 50 years. And to me, skiing is hard enough when you can see where the heck you're going. Because out here, we got not just trees, we got moguls and all sorts of obstacles. And a lot of these people are skiing out there with a guide. And to me, for a guide to be able to say, "Hey, mogul on your left, going to the right, we're at left," just I mean, I'm sure it's getting narrated the whole way down. But for
Oh yeah.
obviously they can't cover everything. I mean, things happen too fast when you're downhill skiing. So, to
What
me, seeing blind skiers out there is one of the more impressive things I've ever seen.
so what they do is, yes, they do narrate things to you, but only what's necessary.
Yeah.
So as you know, because you've been skiing for a long time, you don't worry about what's behind you.
No.
What's behind you worries about you. And so I don't worry about what's behind me. All I'm worried about is what's in front of me.
Sure.
And now, as I'm going, right and left and, back and forth down the slope, my whole mindset is only focused on how steep am I pointed down this slope? Because, that's what determines your speed.
Yep.
And so as I'm doing that, I also don't think about trees because as long as she's telling, well, he or she, excuse me,
Right.
the reason I said she is because that was who my instructor was. It was a
Right.
she. She was telling me in my ear, because we had a earpiece on
Oh,
my
okay.
connected to my helmet, and it had a microphone so that I could talk back to her.
Yeah.
Like say I can't hear you or something like that. Or do I need to come even more left or even more right? And she was very good. She was like, because we would go down the slope, and if something didn't work, I would tell her, hey, instead of saying this, to make it easy and simpler on me so that I'm only focusing on certain words, just say this: more right, more right, more right, more right, more right. I don't need you to say angles because I'm not going to
Yeah.
pay attention to that. You know what I'm saying? Just say left. All right, you can start coming left. All right, more left, more left. And that's all I'm going to focus on is whether I need to come more or less. It's stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we just kept it simple. That KISS acronym,
Yeah.
it's the
Right.
best acronym I've ever come across. I'm telling you right now. I use it in everything. And so that KISS acronym was so helpful because we were just keeping it simple. And to the point, like you say, y'all have a lot of visually impaired skiers, but when I was in Stowe, it didn't seem like it because
Right.
this kid came up behind me. This was after we were done. Like I made it all the way down the slope, and this kid, he came up from behind me on my left side, and I guess he had seen, the vest that we wear.
Yeah.
And he was so close to me. He was looking up and I guess trying to see my eyes. And his ski hit my left one. His right ski hit my left ski. And I said, "Uh-oh." And I always do that. I was like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah.
And then my instructor was like, "Hey, watch your skis, watch your skis." He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And so he steps over to the left, but he's still looking at me. Why do I know he's still looking at me? Because I hear him moving off, but then I hear him stop and say, "Holy crap, you're blind?" Because he just watched me go all the way down this slope. And so, dude, that was like my most memorable moment while I was there. Well, that and getting in the hot tub
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
outdoors.
yep. Well, that's always a good part. Yeah. But you had not been a skier before, had you?
I've skied once before that,
Oh, okay.
and that
Gotcha.
was in New Mexico,
All right.
the mountains of New Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some good skiing down there. It's icy there,
One
but
time though.
yeah, I was
And
gonna
and
say,
hear me clearly,
yeah.
that is not the same, and not just because of my eyesight, because of all of the body parts that are different now.
Yeah.
I was so hurt. Like I was so sore when I left it compared to when I did it in New Mexico. Wasn't sore at all
Right.
because I was very active.
Yeah.
But when I got off those slopes, we were there for 5 days, and we were doing skiing in the morning, rock climbing in the afternoon, rock climbing in the morning, skiing in the afternoon. Like that's what we were
Right.
doing. Oh, and we did a gym workout in the early morning. So like 6 or 7 in the morning, we're either doing a workout in the gym or we're doing stretching.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, this was some serious work. I
Yeah.
was sore, dude.
Yeah. Sounds like my kind of day though.
Yeah.
Getting two or three different activities is awesome. But
Oh yeah. Fun.
yeah, but I want to return to talking about your activities in the current time here. But
Hmm.
let's jump back for just a moment here to
Okay.
you're in the hospital, you've found out all this bad news here and everything. And you went through an awful lot of emotions. Obviously, you went through months of rehab and
Yeah.
learning how to function as a newly blind person. But obviously, you had to have had a lot of uplifting moments and dark moments, and
Yeah.
lots of struggles. And I know in your book, you tap back into a lot of your experiences, well as your support systems, and
Hmm.
I mean, it was certainly a group effort to get you to the point where you ended up right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go through some of that if you wouldn't mind, please.
Absolutely. No, I don't mind at all. I even just found out some new information that I that I wish I'd known for the book.
Yeah.
So I think you'll remember in the book, and I'm going to explain it enough so that the audience understands. But you'll remember in the book where I talk about how, my mom and them didn't find out till 10 o'clock at night that
Yeah.
I had been in the hospital since, I don't know, maybe 3 p.m. that day, because
Hmm.
my accident happened at 2,
Yeah.
around like 2 p.m. So having to be life flighted in, all that good stuff, and it's now late at night. They didn't find out till 10 p.m., so they still had to drive to the hospital, which was UNC, go Tar Heels.
Right.
um, and so they're there, but of course, you're there, but you're really not because of the trauma that's going on right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so things are happening so fast because they're asking her questions on what they should do with me because I can't talk.
Yeah.
I'm unconscious. And so they're asking her all these questions, and then one of the things was about the chaplain. Do you want us to bring a chaplain in to, pray? And because they were counting me out, dude.
Yeah.
When I say count me out, done deal.
Right.
I should not be here talking to you according to the doctors.
Hmm.
And so, anywho, um, my mom was called my grandmother, and she's like, "Yeah, they're saying they're gonna call the chaplain in here." She's like, "Chaplain? We have a pastor."
Right.
You know, and so they called my pastor, and him and his wife get out of their bed. God bless their souls. I love them dearly.
Right.
Get out of their comfy bed in the middle of the night because it's like now probably like 1 or 2 in the morning at this point
Yeah.
on May 6th.
Okay.
And they get out of their comfy beds to come from, Pittsburgh, North Carolina to Chapel Hill, North Carolina. And my pastor just told me this, maybe a month or two ago. He said, Key, because some people call me Key, some call me Kiwi, have all the different nicknames. But he said, Key, when I walked in that hospital, in that ICU, he said, it was standing room only.
Wow.
Now, hear me what time I just told you it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
One,
was
two in the morning. Yeah.
yeah, it was standing room only. He said, there were so many different people in there. Color, race, creed, it did not matter. They were there for you. They were all there to see you.
Wow.
He said, I knew when I was walking in that uh lobby that I was gonna have to lay one down heavy. He said, because these people are counting on you to make it. And I gotta make sure that I send up a good one for you. And he did, man, because I'm here today, but not only because of that, because of my uncle's church too. He's a senior pastor at his church, but his church and like two other churches, excuse me. So the Cup of Salvation Deliverance Church in Durham and Shabak. I can't remember what their denomination is, but in Durham, and then there was one other church. They had a 24-hour prayer wall going for me
Wow.
while I was in that coma. 24 hours.
Yeah, that's
And
impressive.
I'm just like, holy smokes, man. And I wrote about that in the book, of course.
Yeah.
But, you know, and what I just told you is breaking news about what my pastor said. And so you had that. And then when I finally did come to, even before, but when I finally did come to, I never had a day, not one single day, where somebody wasn't coming to visit me.
Hmm.
Maybe two, three people.
Right.
I had one day where I had about 15 coworkers come visit from the Air Force, the reserves,
Cool.
man.
Yeah.
They had just finished uh taking everything out of my apartment from the third floor, by the way. I lived on the third floor for safety reasons, and because I traveled so much.
Yeah.
So I lived on the third floor. They went and unloaded my apartment, took everything out of it in 30 minutes and had it all loaded up in trucks, trailers, everything that they brought with them
Oh,
in
wow.
30 minutes from the third floor now.
Yeah.
And they said, where y'all want us to take it? And they were taking it to my grandmother's house and to her storage unit at the same house.
Yeah.
And man, I just wanted to know what it looked like. I would just look because in my job we load cargo.
Yeah.
So these men and women, because there are women too, they know how to load cargo. They know how to move anything. Like we
Yeah.
know how to move it. Okay. Big, small, tall, short, everything. It does not matter. We knew how to move it. And so
Yeah. These guys
when
make
my,
professional movers look like hacks. Yeah.
exactly. So when my mom told me that, I said, I'm not surprised. What I was surprised about was that all of 15 of them came to the hospital to see me,
Yeah.
right after that. After they unloaded my apartment, took it over to my grandmother's house and did the same thing, loaded it all up in there. I was like, you guys are just too much,
Hmm.
you know? And they made it a whole day, man. They made a whole day out of it. And so they come to my hospital room, man, and file in one by one. And my mom was like, well, they're gonna have to come in one at a time. I said, no, they're not. She was like, they can't fit in here. I said, they're gonna do it today.
Right.
I said, they're gonna do it today. This is my room.
Yeah.
I'm paying for this. And she was like, Kijuan. I said, Mom, I want them in here. And
Nice.
sure enough, they came in one by one. And they said, Kiwi. Every last one of them said Kiwi because
Yeah.
that was my call sign in the Air Force.
Right.
Kiwi. And I would be like, Sergeant so and so. They're like, yeah, and they're like, Kiwi. I'm like, Captain so and so. Yeah, man, I was naming all of them. Naming every last one of them by voice, man. Just
Right.
hearing it.
Sure.
And I was doing a little bit of funny stuff too. So there was this one guy, Major Ron Brand, and he he came in, and I said, "Oh, yes, sir." Like
Right.
I was at attention laying in the bed. Yes, sir. How you doing, sir? Good to see you, sir. And everybody's like, "What the heck?" They're like, y'all don't know he used to be a Marine.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, come on, Kiwi, don't do me like that." But yeah, I was just doing silly stuff, being myself because I know they would want to see that.
Well, yeah, I
Um,
would imagine a lot of people come in with this look on their face like, oh my God, we're going to be seeing the grimmest thing ever. And I'm
yeah.
sure if you could loosen them up like that, it totally changed everybody's tone of the visit.
Well, I'm sure some of them were there the night that my pastor came in. Like I told you, he came and did that prayer
Yeah.
because he said there were some co-workers there. So I'm sure some of them were some of the ones that came. And
Yeah.
so from them to see me at that point in the ICU looking like this is it, to seeing me acting funny again like I normally do,
Right.
man, that probably made their day. So
Hey, good work there, man. You
Yeah,
know,
for
you,
sure.
you you told a story about going out to the VA facility out in Tucson where they
Yeah.
teach you basically life skills, and you had your brother Ronnie out there, and how you basically they messed with him out there too. It's like,
Well, me mostly.
yeah, exactly. I mean, but it's like, yeah, I mean, well, obviously this is like serious work. He's trying to help you figure out your new life skills here, and you're out there messing with the dude there. So I'm sure again that helped everything out.
Yes, yes. So that's the Blind Rehab Center of the VA. They have I think it's 13 of them around the nation.
Oh
But
wow,
you could pick and choose whichever one you want to go to. And I knew I didn't want to go to Augusta. I didn't want to be on the East Coast. I kind of want to go somewhere else. So the first one I picked was in Biloxi, Mississippi, but they took too long to respond. So I switched my paperwork over to Tucson. They responded in like 2 weeks. And I was like, oh, I'm gone.
yeah,
Like, like one of those. And so I took off there, man, spent 2 months out there, by the way. Um, and when you're done, you can have one family member come out with you, come out there, and they're paying for all of this. They pay for the flight.
Mm,
They stay in the we stay in a hotel.
right,
We don't stay on the facility campground or campus grounds. All of that stuff. They pay for everything. And so I think he was there for 2 days, 2 or 3 days, something like that.
right,
And we were just going through the different things that I do on a daily now that I've been trained, like eating, cleaning. I showed him some of the like copper tooling and woodworking and things like that that I was doing. What else? Navigating, like learning how to use my cane.
right,
Eating, because he had to eat blind. They made him
right.
wear some, I think a blindfold or some shades or something. Well, he couldn't see nothing.
Okay,
He couldn't see a thing. And so he's like eating. We're in the cafeteria, and I ate slow at this time because my body still wasn't completely where it was. You know what I
yeah, and I'm
mean?
sure your jaw probably needed some working out there too.
I don't know. The
No,
jaws they got back right.
did it? Okay, all
A
right.
little bit, a little bit. They needed some help, but they were getting strong. It's just that my esophagus. You see, I have a tracheotomy, so I
Yeah, you
had to
got
eat
tricked too.
slower.
Yeah, okay,
I had to eat slow. I couldn't rush myself or I would choke.
yeah,
So I was still building all the strength up in there. But he was eating. He's sitting right beside me, and then there's another person sitting on the other side of him, and they had a little bit of vision where they
yeah,
could see. And so him and I, completely blind, basically. I'm really blind. He's pretending. And so he's eating the food, and they don't give you like a whole bunch of food. This ain't like no buffet or something
right, right.
like that. And so he's done eating, and I'm like, I still got maybe a third of my plate left to go or something. And he's done eating. He's like, "Hey man, were you messing with my food?" I said, "No, what are you talking about?" He's
Yeah,
like,
I can't see what I'm doing.
he's like,
Yeah,
"My food, I can't find any more food." And so the guy that I told you that was sitting on the other side of him, he
yeah.
said, "That's because it's gone." He said, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, no, you ate all your food." He's like, "Nobody's messing with you, dude. You ate all of it."
Wow.
My brother. So at that time, right now I'm 230 pounds. At that time, I was probably, I don't know, 190, 180 something, something like
Okay.
that. Who knows? My brother weighs about 250, 260,
All right.
and he's 6'3". Dude, you ate that food.
Right.
Nobody's messing with your food.
Yeah.
So there was things like that that were going on. It was so funny though. That was one of the funnier moments. I was
Right.
laughing at him so hard. Oh God.
Yeah. No, that's good. So, I mean, obviously, you had a whole arduous process getting your whole body working again, and then you,
Yeah.
like I say, you're going through these life skills at the VA center and everything. But at some point, then that you got sent home, and
Yeah.
uh, and then started to have to figure a lot of things out. And yeah, I know the battle's not over
Mm.
psychologically by any means. And you were really good about talking in your book about getting some mental health help, which most of us who grow up in the guy macho world, and especially you in the
Yep.
military, you're taught all the time, hey man, you can handle this on your own here. And
Mhm.
you learned a lot about, like, yeah, at times you have to reach out. And I know you mentioned your uncle, and he had a first name beginning with a V. I can't remember. It's a little different name, but
Vercel.
Vercel, yeah.
Mhm.
and and some others who really helped you out there get through a lot of the struggles that ordinarily you'd say, oh yeah, I'm a guy, I can get through this.
Yeah, no, phew, buddy. Ooh-wee. Yeah, no, so mental health. I still, by the way, go to mental therapy on a regular.
Okay.
Why? Because this is an ongoing battle. The the, the with everything I deal with, it is not just because of the accident. It's what I deal with on a daily too. Like, things happen on a regular that I get frustrated about. I I was 25 when I lost my sight. I wasn't born this way. So now that I'm not able to do the things that I was doing for 25 years with sight, this sucks. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Right.
so these moments pop back up and they show themselves as like, aha, you lose again. And whereas it's like, but do I? Do I really lose? Because I can still travel by myself. I do it all the time. I just got back from Texas not too long ago.
All right.
I just got back from Dallas not too long ago.
Cool.
And so I still do these things. I still have trips coming up. I'm going to Tampa the end of this month, end of July. I'm going to Italy in August. I'm going to New York in October. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I can still do things. So it's more so me learning how to navigate this life when I go to
Mm.
mental therapy and to say, well, these are some tools when these same things persist that you can use. So I tell people all the time, there's nothing wrong with going to mental therapy. It's not a weakness. It's actually helping you. What is wrong? And I tell people this too. I say, when did we go away from asking for help?
Yeah.
When did we get away from that? You taught your kids in school to always ask for help. You taught your kids at home to always ask for help. Why are you in the refrigerator getting milk, spilling it all over the ground? You could have just asked me for help.
Right.
But yet, when you're an adult, you act like you can't ask for help and you're suffering from it.
Yeah.
That's not okay. That's what's not okay. And then because this has been said to me before, when I suggest mental therapy, mental health, all these things, they say one or two things. Either, that's weak, or they say things like, oh, it's too late for me.
Too late.
Are you
Well,
dead?
yeah.
Like,
Right.
that's all I can think. Are you dead or something?
That's the only time it's too late. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when it's going to be too late. When
Right.
you let this thing eat you alive to the point that it kills you. It's never too late as long as you still have breath in your lungs.
Makes total sense. Yep.
So I am a huge advocate for mental health and mental therapy. So yeah,
Very nice. And you've actually you've done a lot of self-help as well, besides
yeah,
the mental therapies, including things like music. I know has always been near and dear to you, and we see the drum set back there, which provided by our friends at Sweetwater, as we talked about before. We'll give them a little shout out here.
I know, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Need
You
them
were
to
a
give me
drummer
some
before. What's that?
endorsements and sponsorships.
Absolutely, man. I'll ask him for some money for my sponsorship here, but but you were a drummer before, and not just a hobby drummer. I mean, you were
No,
actually a performer, and still
yeah.
are now. Which the nice thing about it is that like that's something you can play by feel, so to speak. So that's been very cool for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, so I started playing at the age of 7. Been loving it for sure since I was 5. I know that for a fact. Because when I be in church, that's all I'm looking at. As
Right?
soon as those drums start as soon as the drummer starts hitting something, I'm looking at them. Like my
Yeah.
eyes are just turned straight like that. And I'm glued. And so ever since, I was 7 and I sat behind my first kid, man. Um it wasn't easy, by the way, because the kit was set up for somebody big,
Yeah.
and I was just a little tight, man, literally. And I'm trying to lean on the chair and kick the pedal,
Right, right.
and oh man, but what nowadays, and I tell people this, they're like, Did you ever learn to read music?" I said, "I tried. I didn't like the concept." You know,
Right.
music theory is not easy, and I'm learning it because there's a piano also sitting beside me too. I'm learning it through keyboard, playing a keyboard, and so that's pretty cool because it is teaching me a different ear.
Mm. Yeah.
So that's also cool. But playing the drums over 26 years now, man, and still to the day, like literally just in church, uh, Sunday, I'm there. As long as I'm here in town, I'm at church playing the drums on Sunday.
Nice.
Yep. And trust me, you're not just gonna hear a single beat. You're gonna be like, "Holy smokes, is this kid really blind?"
Right, right.
I'm not even joking. And some people really forget. Even my minister of music, she forgets sometimes, and she'll do something. I'm like, hey, you can't do that. Only I can change it up."
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, but yeah, it's funny sometimes. We laugh at each other after church services, and so I'm like, hey, I don't know what you were doing today, but you can't do that.
Right.
Mm. But yeah, man, fun times, man.
Yeah, no, and I'm with you with the. I know any bands I've watched, your eyes do get drawn to the drummer. I mean, because that's the guy who's got the most kinetic motion going on, and
Heartbeat.
yep, yep. I
Mhm.
remember as a kid, I've always been a big Billy Joel fan, and his early drummer was Liberty DeVito, who man, that guy was, he was incredible, and I still, love Mighty Max Weinberg with Bruce Springsteen and these street bands. So
Yeah.
yeah, you're always drawn to those kind of guys.
Yeah, I got I'd say about three three of well four, but three of my favorite oh no, it is four. So one of them he just came back to the gospel genre. He had left and went to rock for a little while. But his name is Spank.
Yeah.
Spanky. Yeah, Spank, he plays for Ty Tribbett, who is a gospel artist. I mean, when I tell you that Ty Tribbett, his bands are crazy. He's got a new live album out and it's called All Things New. Oh God. Oh my God. I go nuts. I listen to that album every Sunday morning as I'm getting ready for church. And it puts me in a whole nother mood because
Nice.
it takes you through the highs, takes you through the lows, and then it brings you right back up. You know what I mean? It's so amazing. So anyway, Spank, you have the first guy that I really was drawn to was Tony Royster Jr.
Okay.
He's tough. He played for he played live shows for Jay-Z. He's been on the what is that show? Something one of those live shows, but he does jazz, rap. He can play any genre. He is, I mean, so versatile.
Cool.
It's like all that kid. He's been playing since he was like 5. And he did a show where I think he was 10 when he did his first show, like on TV show
Oh, wow.
and performance. And this kid was doing double bass then. I don't know
Really?
if you know what double bass is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
But was
he
he
was
tall enough
doing
to play that?
Yeah, exactly. Well, he had his own setup then,
Yeah.
and so he was doing double bass, and he would do the double bass, and then he would do the cymbals. He was like, and I was like, this kid is ridiculous. And I have been a fan of him ever since that day. And then you have Eric Moore the second. That's my guy. He's gospel. Now he does some of everything. He started out in the gospel. I think somebody in his family owned a church I think it was Chicago. I'm pretty sure he's like Midwest, but I
Okay.
think it's Chicago. And then the last guy I'll mention is Calvin Rogers Jr. He played for John P. Key, so and Marvin Sapp. So yeah, he's really good. He's a
Yeah.
really good guy. So
Well, that's good. Well, where's your drumming career going to lead you?
you tell me, because I'm ready.
I know. I can tell
Listen,
you
I'm
are.
ready,
Yeah.
dude. I'm ready to go. And I have been to well, I've submitted pieces for of being me being recorded for live performances to the VA's National Creative Arts Festival that they host every year
Oh
in
yeah.
different parts of the world, by the way. That we were in Denver once.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I've been to Denver.
Yeah, yeah.
We
Oh,
were
that's
in
cool.
Denver at the what's that? It's a college up there. Oh, that's got a really nice performing arts setup. I
So
can't remember the name of it.
University of Denver.
It might be,
Okay.
but I do know it's somewhere. They got a really nice setup for that auditorium. It's like
Okay.
3 floors.
Yeah, that might be the University of Denver has their Lamont School of Music that's there
Yeah.
that is really a very preeminent music program there. I mean, if not that, maybe it was University of Colorado or something, but it might be DU. So that's
Because
cool.
isn't that where the Red Rock Amphitheater is?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We were in that area for because we went to the Red Rock Amphitheater. They allowed us to walk down the stairs to the Red Rock
Yeah.
and take pictures on stage.
Well, you're lucky you were walking down because at this altitude, walking up is a whole different story there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, they drove us up there, and the
Yeah.
only thing we walked down was those stairs to
Yeah.
the actual stage. That's the only thing we walked down.
Yeah. Well,
But that
people go
museum
out
there
there
is
all the
cool
time
too.
and run the stairs there. It's a
Oh yeah,
hugely popular workout place there. I
gosh,
mean,
that's got to be rough because those stairs are not easy.
oh no, no, I bring my kids up there, my team, and we do workouts up there, and it's brutal. And
Yeah.
then when it's all over, all the drills I give them, then I make them start on the stage and run all the way up to the very top of the amphitheater there. And I tell them, if you can do that without stopping and without double stepping, so you got to hit each
Yeah,
one of those
each
bleacher
step.
steps, which are pretty far apart, I
Yeah.
will buy them a free pizza.
Nice.
Yep. And you know how many pizzas I've bought over the years? Zero is right.
You don't have to tell me.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, that's cool. You got out here and got to
Yeah.
experience that. Red Rocks is an amazing place there.
Yeah.
Yeah, aside from the music, you were always a football player before, and now
Absolutely.
you're very active in a lot of other sports, rowing and besides the skiing, but rowing and others as well. Which I'm sure all the time you hear people going, "Really, dude, like
Mhm.
you who can't see anything, you're doing that?"
Yeah. So rowing is more of a stationary thing for us.
Right?
So the erks, we use those.
Hmm.
So rowing, cycling, I do tandem cycling. I do tandem recumbent now. I used to do the upright, but my back is not it's not able to support it anymore.
Ah,
So I do this recumbent, which is where you sit down low. And I do powerlifting, shot put, and discus.
nice.
They wanted me to do track, but I haven't done it yet. Bowling, I've done bowling. What else? Oh shoot, archery, air rifle, because they now have audible systems that I put headphones on, and
Yeah.
it tells me how close to the center I am
Oh wow.
by making a high pitch audible sound. And so, let me
Yeah, I'm
give
just
you.
thinking of like archery there with people who have no sight. It sounds like a Monty Python routine to me here. It's like I'm just picturing arrows going every direction out there, but there's
Hey,
some sort
listen.
of
I told somebody one day. I said, "Oh no, I do really well," and I was getting ready to shoot. Right? I said, "No, I do really well with shooting." I said, "But I wouldn't suggest going to stand by that target
you're right. You're right.
because this will be the one day I miss,
Yeah.
and I've never missed before." And so, but with air rifle, you're shooting like these little pellets
Yeah.
at a small paper target, very small, and the highest you can get, I want to say is 11, like 11.0.
Okay.
The highest I've shot, and this is with the audible noise, so nobody's actually holding anything or telling me nothing. This is me all by myself.
Uh-huh.
The highest I shot was a 10.7.
Wow. That sounds pretty damn good.
It's very good because that's me nipping that center.
Yeah.
That's the really nicking at it, right there at it. And I kept telling him, I'm like, I am right on because when we were zeroing in, when you zero in on on a target, you know, you have to get your dial your top your stuff in. And I'm like, listen, I'm telling you right now, I am on the middle. If you hear this in my ear, but it's telling me I'm shooting like a six.
Yeah.
So you guys need to fix the sights.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so they kept changing it, and then it would get closer. Pow, seven. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You need to fix the sights. And so that's when we finally got it closer, 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 man. Next thing you know, I'm shooting nines and tens. I said, trust me, I can shoot. Don't play with me.
Yeah, right.
I was a marksman in the military. Don't play with me.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So, well, that's also cool. Which of these sports are you most serious about right now?
Well, I guess you can say powerlifting because that's what I've been doing here lately is going to the gym 3 days a week. I'm actually getting ready to go here once we finish our podcast interview.
Nice.
But powerlifting, I love lifting weights. I've been lifting weights since I was in eighth grade.
Right?
So literally since I was in eighth grade, I've been lifting weights, doing something with moving heavy weights around. And I am, falling more in love with it every day, man.
Yeah.
I did
No,
not know.
it is addicting. I totally get it. I
Yeah.
mean, what are you maxing out on with your squat, bench, whatever?
Well, well, with what my personal trainer does, we don't max.
No, okay,
We
that's
just,
good.
we just, but if I had to guesstimate, in powerlifting, you do bench press, you
Hmm.
do squat, and you do deadlifts
Right.
in competition. If I had to guesstimate on bench press, I would probably say right now I'm bench pressing a one rep max of about 250, 260, somewhere around there.
Nice. Okay.
And I never thought I would get back over 225, honestly.
Yeah.
With everything that happened. I never thought, but this dude is amazing with his workouts.
Right.
Okay, now squats, I would say if I did a one rep max, it might be somewhere around 300.
All right. Cool,
If I did a
cool.
one rep max, 'cause I
Yeah.
ain't doing no more than
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That stuff gets hard on my rods, my metal
I
rods.
was just
Ooh,
gonna say, I bet what you had
yeah,
going on with your vertebrae, I bet you that would be
yeah.
tough. Yeah, yeah.
And then the deadlift, I probably give myself a good 315 pull.
Wow. All right.
I love deadlifts. They're pretty fun.
Yes, yes. I bet though you get a lot of folks who are going like, "Wait, you're doing what?" I mean, that's got to
Yeah.
be pretty wild when you hear things like that, right?
Yeah, no, seriously. And if you come to the gym, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you come to
Yeah.
that gym with me, you'll be like, yeah, he is. He's definitely doing it.
Yeah.
So, because
Well, one of those things I heard you talk. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say because I think it was last week. Yeah, last week I did deadlifts and I did 5 reps of 275 on deadlifts. So I'm pretty
Damn.
sure I can get,
Yeah.
315 once.
Yeah. No, that's impressive, young man.
Yeah.
So, one of the things I saw you mention is that you are the excuse destroyer. I love that title, man. That's so cool, and I'm sure, that goes back to the gym there. It's like, what's your excuse for not being able to do that, And you're just like telling everybody out there, like, hey, look at me. I'm the excuse destroyer out there. That's a super cool term. I love it.
Thank you. That was actually given to me by another podcast host. He's out in New Zealand, and after we got off that podcast, he and finished the whole interview. He was like, "Dude, you are amazing." It's like I just all I can think is you're an excuse destroyer, and I was like, you know, if I say that, it doesn't sound as cool, but when you say it, it sounds cool.
Right.
The excuse destroyer. And you know, he has it's almost like the New Zealanders and Australians have like that similar accent.
Yeah.
So he almost sounds like an Aussie. It's like, I would give you the excuse destroyer. And I was like,
Right.
yeah, that's pretty cool. It's pretty freaking cool, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I'm gonna hold on to that one. And that's how I look at it, man. And I'm going to be releasing my own podcast soon. I'm gonna start coming up with my own podcast. I've
Cool.
been looking for new names, and I think I got it. And it's gonna be called No Sight, No Excuses.
Okay.
And so,
That works. Yeah.
so it kind of goes along with the excuse destroyer, and I don't I don't want to make up any excuses. I want to find every way of why I can. And that's another thing I tell people. When somebody tells you why you can't, show them why you can.
Right.
They can tell you all day, but you show them why you can. So yeah,
Is that why you're doing what you're doing?
hey man, everything.
Yeah,
That's why I do everything I do. Because as they say, actions speak louder than words. I'm
totally.
gonna show you.
Right. Well, so I am, a runner. I
Hmm.
do really long races. I'm also a coach. And I'm going to tell you now, you need to get back into the track and field, man. All right.
Yeah.
And you know what? Between, there's Adaptive Athletes is an organization out there. There's Achilles International. There's also Black Men Run, which,
Oh well.
guys I run with out here all the time. And I'm sure there's got to be a Black Men Run chapter somewhere in Durham. Hopefully, somewhere near there. I would definitely look those guys up because those guys will uplift you like none other.
Yeah, yeah. I would ask you, feel free to send me that information.
I definitely will.
Yeah.
Yep. That's cool. So, as you mentioned, though, you're starting the podcast. You've got your book. I'm going to hold it up for people to see here. Don't focus on why me. Very similar message that Jason Denon, the guy I mentioned to you off air, the guy who was on this podcast, who was skydiving and smacked into the side of a building, was in a coma for 8 days. I mean, that was his message too. It's like, why
Hmm.
not me? And
Yeah.
yeah, so definitely. But what are the ways you're getting out there right now?
As far as what?
But sharing your message.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
no, I mean, of course, doing the motivational and keynote speaking now.
yeah,
So I do that, whether it's on stage or on camera, either way. I'm doing the podcast stuff. I'm, using my social media platforms to, display my messages and accurately convey them. I'm also a resilience coach.
right.
So I do that as well, whether, it's for a business, for one-on-one, for a small team, whatever. I do resilience coaching because we all need to understand what it means to bounce back. And if
Yeah,
anybody knows what that means, it's definitely me. So,
yeah,
um,
totally.
and I also do trusted mentoring. So I not only mentor for my personal business, but I also mentor for the Air Force Wounded Warriors program, which helped me, you know, basically get retired from the military, and get all the benefits that I received. And I'm an ambassador for them as well. So I go around to the different bases and I tell other Air Force members who are currently in, not ones that are out or whatever that is, but the ones who are currently in what the Air Force Winter Warriors program is all about.
Yeah.
So these are the different things that I do now.
Wow. That is super cool. You're out there with all those things. And, I do a little bit of public speaking myself. And I was listening to a podcast you did with an Australian woman. And you
Yeah.
had the greatest comment on there because, when I'm speaking, I divide the audience into thirds as I'm looking at them. There's the people who are totally with me and they're just nodding their heads the whole time I'm talking. I don't need to worry about them. They're already on my side.
Yeah.
You get the other people who are sitting there with their arms folded across them and they're like, screw you. I don't believe a thing and nothing's going to change my mind. It's like, okay, that's fine. And then there's those thirds of people who are like curious and they want to learn. And
Hmm.
those are the ones I kind of pull towards, trying to see if I can pull them over to my side of the fence. And you mentioned you get in front of a whole bunch of people and you're not necessarily a natural public speaker. And your thought is, I'm trying to convey a message. I can't see them anyway, so I have no idea what they're thinking. I thought,
Right, right.
I thought that was perfect. I loved it.
Listen, the thing is, I never wanted to be a public speaker.
Right.
Um, I couldn't stand doing it when I was in the military. When they made
Yeah.
me do like presentations and stuff, like I don't want to do this. And these are my peers, like people I knew.
Right.
So just imagine what it's like when you walk into a room full of people you don't know.
Yeah.
But what I had to also realize was I am the expert on this topic that I am speaking on.
Right.
They're trying to find the information. So the whole purpose for me is not to be like, oh yeah, I'm some big shot. No, it's to be like, I want you to walk away from this presentation, this topic that I speak on with nothing but clarity. I want you to understand exactly what I had to convey on this stage. Because if I don't do that, you're not, first off, you're not going to invite me back.
Right.
Secondly, you're going to leave more confused than when you came. What did we go listen to?
Right.
Like, I trust you. There is nothing worse than going to a presentation and you're just like, well, that was a waste of my time. I don't want you to ever leave my presentation or my speaking engagement saying that because I feel worse. Trust me, I'm gonna feel way worse than you in wasting your time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how serious I take this. So,
Yep. I like it. So, I mean, I can tell when you speak to a group there, you are injecting your positivity into this. And
mhm.
obviously, there are a lot of people who probably say, how in the hell can you be positive after what you've been through and where you've been left here without your vision and everything, or without your sight? I know you said before you've got your sight, you didn't lose your vision, but
Yeah.
which is super cool. But where does that positivity come from deep down within?
Well, a lot of it definitely derives from my faith.
Uh-huh.
Even with me being a Christian, even in the Bible it says we walk by faith and not by sight. And that's one that I hold dear to me here in my walls. So we had this house built, and before the walls went up, I had written on one of the two by fours holding up the frame. I
Hmm.
had written on it the scripture that says we walk by faith and not by sight in my room.
Nice.
And so that was to kind of bless this space with that mindset. And you know, things like that, my drums, they give me so much joy. They bring me joy because not only am I doing something that I'm passionate about, but I am also doing something that can allow me to release frustration. It can allow me to reset. I can go play my favorite song over there and I'll just jam out.
Yeah.
Just get, and that is actually one of the things that I tell CEOs when I speak. Find something that you can just go do and not care. That is what I do with those drums. I
Hmm.
am just carefree, okay? Because when you're a CEO, you have to care about so much. When you're owner, you have to care about so much. When you're founder, you have to care about so. When you're on these different executive boards, you have to care about so much throughout your day, your week, your month, the year, whatever it is.
Right.
Find something that you don't have to care about. I just well on those suckers sometimes. Other
Nice.
times, yes, I'm getting ready for a church service, to practice the songs that we have to play on Sunday. But other times, I am going nuts.
Yeah.
I will play that song. Um, uh, Life is a highway. I want to drive all night
Night long.
long.
Right.
I will just and the reason I play songs like that is because I feel so free playing it. You're
Yeah.
going my way. And I'm just having a good time playing. It's an easy, simple song. It's a groove song. I can just play around with it, different things like that. And you just relax, feel free, And so I do like to encourage people with stress. If you feel like you have high stress levels, try to find some method of release. I'm not saying everybody should learn to play the drums. No. What if your thing is playing the piano? What if your thing is singing? What if your thing is going outside and working in a garden? What if your thing is doing woodwork? Because there are some people who create some masterpieces in woodworking or
Right.
paintings. What if that is your escape? What if that is your way of being free? So,
Yeah.
just find something.
Totally. I mean, running. I mean,
Yeah, that's
perfect.
another one.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
most
not
of the
saying you
time I
have to be
go,
Forrest Gump, but
No, no. Right. Yeah, there's a little
Uh,
bit of that in me, but no, it's just, I mean, for me, living out here in Colorado, it's like, hey, if I can go out there on a trail and go run and just, basically be out there with nature and, I'm not out there connecting to the world. I mean, the phone's sitting back in my car most of the time. Just get away from it. I mean, yeah,
mhm.
I think everybody should have a hobby. It doesn't have to be, running obviously is not everybody's cup of tea, but,
Right.
I've got my nerd activities. I call it stamp collecting.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm out there doing that, and nobody's looking over my shoulder. No, there's no perfection. I do it the way I want to do it.
You're right.
And that's the important thing is there's no strict guidelines in terms of how to collect stamps. I mean, I've got my own things, and I do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, that's way cool. What things haven't we covered here? I mean, we've kind of bounced around a lot, and I mean, what kind of other messages do you want to share with folks?
Yeah, I mean, it seems we covered a lot of things, and I know we have. And it's to me one of the biggest things that I try to with like my mentoring and resilience coaching is tell people about like how how it is not just me, but they can too move forward in life. The first thing you have to do is figure out what's holding you back.
Right.
That's a huge one. Like, until you get over that, it doesn't matter. I tell you everything I want to, and it's not going to matter because eventually what's holding you back is going to still be holding you back.
Right.
You ever you ever had a moment where, you're pulling, trying to get away from something, but yet whatever's behind you is way bigger than you?
Sure.
Until you cut that tie from what's bigger than you, it's still going to be there. And you're just going to be trying your hardest to pull as hard as you can. It's not going anywhere.
Yep.
And
Big
so
old boogeyman there. Yeah.
I tell you. And
Yeah.
so I tell people you have to get rid of the labels, get rid of the things that other people are saying about you, and even what's really true. And what's the true part is you have to face that. If it's true, you got to face that. The truth about me that I had to face, I lost my eyesight, guys. I lost that. I had to face that truth.
Right.
That's what I mean by that. So you face that, confront it, and then you move forward from that. Okay, I do have eyesight loss, but there's a way around this. And so when you're moving forward in this process, the thing that I'm telling you is you have to embrace, confront the issue. You have to take these labels, throw them to the side because they're not yours. That's something somebody else gave you. And then you continue to move forward. The quote that I always use with this is my situation does not define who I am. I define who I am.
Nice.
So that's what I'll leave everybody with.
Totally. No, I like that. You reminded me just now of a friend of mine he's his name is Jason Romero, and this guy is blind. I mean, his vision is such that he says he likens it if you were looking through two paper towel tubes.
Hmm.
So he's got very limited vision like that.
Yeah.
Jason has run across the country.
Hmm.
Jason has won the American Heroes Run 100-mile race several times.
Hmm.
And he has that same attitude. It's like for a long time that was really tough on him to lose his vision, but he was like, I'm not going to let it define me.
Right.
So there's still an awful lot of things I can still do, and as discouraging as it might be, having this limitation, he's still out there doing things like he runs 100 miles and he wins the race. I'm not talking about just out there running it as
Hmm.
a sideshow or something like that. He's won it, you
Oh yeah.
know. So he's elevated his level to show everybody else what's possible there. So you're doing the same thing there, big guy, and
Hmm.
obviously people can walk away hopefully from this and all the other things you've done. I was curious too about your mentorship program out there. Like,
Hmm.
where do people find you for that? I mean, like what kind of people come to you wanting your mentorship?
Well, I mean, I get it from anywhere, to be honest.
Yeah,
So the Air Force One Warriors program is my main
Hmm.
mentoring.
Right?
But if there were like young men who I've encountered, um, even peers, some of my peers, they come to me for mentorship, like guys that I went to school with. They'll just randomly call me and ask me questions. Uh, it's mentoring to me is a different avenue. I almost don't charge for that. I really don't. I don't
Yeah.
see. I can't see me charging for that because I feel like it's something that I owe. And why do I say that? Is because I'm only going to tell you about something that I I know.
Right.
That's it. So that's what my mentoring is.
Gotcha. No, it makes total sense. I think you will get back more that way by giving your experience and knowledge to others. You will get a lot more in return than they will ever get from you.
Mhm.
So, yeah, good for you for doing that.
Thanks.
Yeah, so obviously people can find your book out there on Amazon and all the other platforms out there. I know I got it from Amazon, but where else can they find you out there?
Yeah, so you can go to my website at amymotivation.com. That's where you can find the book, which again called Don't Focus on Why Me from Motorcycle Accident to Miracle. You can also book me for speaking engagements on there and click on that link. You can also find some of the videos I've done on there too, not just speaking, but also me playing the drums.
Nice.
And my social medias handles are LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and all of those you can find me under Kijuan Amey. So
Gotcha. And Amy is Amey. So,
correct.
yep, I will put all that in the show notes out there so people can find that. And I'm going to go check out your drumming out there later on. So I can't
Yeah,
wait to
man.
check that out.
Yeah, man. Just you can find some of that on YouTube too if you just type my first and last name.
Okay, very cool. Well, I am so appreciative of your time here. I don't want to hold you up from the workout. That's
All
the most
right,
important
thanks.
thing, man. I want you to get to the gym. So,
Thank
um,
you.
yeah, thank you so much for putting up with our little technical issue here to start, but I think we got this pulled off here, and it's been a great pleasure. And I'm going to send you some information later on about Black Men Run because I want to see you out there running and shot putting and discus throwing, man. That's near and dear to my heart too. So,
Yeah, I definitely did that, so I can do
heck
that.
yeah, you can. All right, brother. Well, hey, thank you so much, and you have a great workout over there.
All right, thanks. Appreciate it.
You bet.